Hello and welcome to the Car Care channel. Welcome back to the Lexus LS400 restoration in the final episode. So let me catch you up real quick because we have been extremely busy behind the scenes here, staying in the positive spirits, and we're gonna finish this car today in this video. Now, in reality, it's gonna be a couple, 2-3 days possibly, but for you guys, it'll be one video. We've been busy behind the scenes. I got the car filled up with fluids. We actually took it for a quick drive just to make sure everything is good because I got to focus on the car. But do you want to hear it run? Well, let's open the hood. It's all filled up with fluids and everything and ready to go as far as the engine, transmission, and power steering and everything is ready to go. You want to hear her run? Haven't charged the AC yet. Why do you believe this engine? It's like, you probably can't see it on camera, but put my hand here, it's like you can't even feel nothing. This is how smooth this engine is. I'm gonna shut it off because we don't have the ventilation open. You heard that sound, we'll talk about that in a second, but don't have the ventilation because it is very cold outside. We have that, we're filming this during like an Arctic something, it's super cold, extremely cold outside. That noise you heard is a small vacuum leak that we have. The hose that we put here is not working. So I am in process of trying to find a better hose that works because that one is leaking all over the place. I already got all the vacuum hoses, already got all that taken care of. All the fluids are filled up. Here's a shot of this engine running with a cup of water on it, fully warmed up. It's a pretty smooth engine, especially with new engine mounts and everything, all new ignition stuff. It's running perfectly fine. There's one thing we got to do to this engine today, which is very, very, very important. One of the last relics, Lexus dealership around me told me this is one of the last air filters available. So let's replace it. I think we're gonna have to remove this. Let's see, filter is this housing is kind of interesting. Here we go. So older Toyotas used to have a round circle filter instead of a straight one. This one, not terrible, but we got this far. Only thing I want to do is clean this, which is where all the debris is. I'll be right back. That's much better. Let's take a look at the new filter. Yes, that is a beautiful Lexus filter. Now we could have gotten an aftermarket one. They are available, but I think we went this far with this car. Let's keep things original. Let's see if this one wants to cooperate. Very strange setup. We got a few more things to actually fully finish this engine, which is the engine cover. We can't put this on like that. I'll be back. Much better. Now, of course, we're gonna spend more time cleaning this thing. We're not done. I'm just gonna put the covers, because honestly, I'm having an issue with this hose, I believe. We're having an issue with the parts of this car kind of being everywhere. I don't want to keep doing that. We have another couple projects going on. There we go. We got one more cover. Well, not 100% done, but as far as camera time goes, we are done. Here's what I gotta do after this. I have that vacuum leak. I wanna drive this. We have to do extensive cleaning because this thing was leaking everywhere. Still gotta charge the AC and drive it and drive it and drive it. Fortunately, it's really cold outside and salty, and I wanna minimize. We only pulled this outside and back just to turn it around. Tires already got salt on them, so I want to minimize the driving time right now. We got a rain coming up after we come out of this really cold weather, and it should hopefully it'll wash things enough where we can on a dry day drive it without getting salt on it, because I don't want to do that. But for our purposes, engine is done. here's what we've been doing behind the scenes. We got the rear suspension completely done. Reason being, we were gonna film it, but that bushing in the rear, and when we lift it up, I'll show you that. That bushing was not fun. Actually, don't recommend it. I actually got to a point where I was about to cancel and start shopping for a used knuckle, something. And I actually, through the search, I found 2 brand new knuckles. Oh, we better put a foot support on this. I found 2 brand new knuckles. They are old stock though, so they have a little bit of rust. They've been sitting for a very long time. Bushing should be okay because they're not exposed to elements or whatnot, but in the end, the bushings worked. We're okay, I'll show you that, but not something I'd recommend because they're not designed to be pressed in and out. We had to really improvise in the bushings, and there's no special tools for it because it was never an approved process. Anyways, here's what we're going to do in this video to wrap up this video, which actually we're going to drive this car in the end of this video. Let's do the front suspension. We're going to film one side, other side is exactly the same. So we'll do that off camera, and then we'll go drive it. So, before we get started, everything is, we drove it a little bit, but kind of let it run for a long time. We don't have any leaks, so that is good. That's the old stuff. But here's what we did in the rear, just in case you have one of these and you want to know. Did this arm, 2 bushings over here. Now, if you notice, we have 0 play side to side. These are the bushings that we ended up pressing out, pressing in. They were extremely difficult because we don't have any tools that clamp this, and I thought we were going to do it in the car, like, oh yeah, well, push it out, push it in, we're good. That didn't happen. You don't have any room. Probably biggest one is this one. Like, look how much room you have here. You can't put a C-clamp, you can't put anything to fit it. I mean, you'd have to basically custom make a tool. So I ended up taking the knuckle out, take the bearing out, basically pull the backing plate off, and it was extremely time consuming and kind of delicate, and I didn't really like the bushing quality a lot. They were twisting, doing kind of strange stuff, but they went in, they're good, they don't have any play. I do have the new knuckles available now, should anything in the test drive, because we haven't fully test drove this far, but should anything come up, we have the knuckles so we can go back and do it, because I'm comfortable with the bushings, but I still hold my reservation until we put load on them. Same thing here, bushings. This arm, I wanted to talk to you about it because this was something that threw us on a loop. You see how this one has this piece of metal? And if you look at the other side, it has it the other way. The original ones did not have that. Triple check the part numbers, they are the correct part numbers. For some reason, Lexus discontinued the arm that doesn't have this, because this is for an actual height sensor for the headlights. This one doesn't have it, but they discontinued the one that doesn't have it. Makes sense, this works. You're just going to have this empty spot where the sensor goes. The only thing I was concerned about initially was, why is this painting down and this one facing up? I was kind of concerned about that, but I guess that's how they are. Did the strut in the back as well. This upper control arm, I was skeptical about it a little bit, but it held okay, so we'll see how long it holds. This may need to be replaced sometime in the future of this car, but for now it's holding. Ball joint on it is okay and everything. But here's what we're going to do today. I want to change the control arms, the ball joint, the shock, and the upper control arm. I believe we have this one as well. Don't quote me on that. I don't think we do though. I think we only are replacing these. So on this LS400 and the next generation, even the original one, this is notorious to go out. This arm right here, I think I would call it strut rod or something like that. Strange name for you. This causes, like, every time you brake hard, you'll feel like a clunk in the suspension. You see the wheel move, or every time you accelerate, sometimes they'll do that as well if they're really bad. This is super common on these. So let's take the wheel off, let's get all this going, and pretty soon for you guys, it'll be a few days for us, but go take it for a test ride. Let's start with the brakes here. And I actually just realized something. We did an oil change on this car, forgot to change the filter. And I have to do that. I gotta do a lot of cleaning on this car. Anyways, and I don't know where my pocket screwdriver is. So, let's see what we got here. Got the lock. Got the pins, which are tight because of this. There we go. Why are you not going? Oh, there we go. Let's see. Caliper should move. Don't have Rusty Land Special. Yes, it does. Yeah, I think we got our money's worth out of these pads. I think we got our money's worth out of these pads. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Okay. Well, there's that. This is not a heavy caliper at all. Now let's get our rotor off, which has these two screws. I'm going to do something you should never do if you live in my area and you have a car from my area. Can you believe that? If you work on Hondas, this never happens. You just take these screws out and they come right out. That never happens. Usually we're drilling at this point. But I can straighten the wheel now. That's stuck. Okay. Wheel bearing is fine on this one. We don't have any issues here. What we do have issues with is the suspension. And like we said a long time ago when we did this, we're gonna have to take the tie rod off again. I just wanted it there so we can move the car. A little bit of negotiations. There it is. I am thinking we're gonna, since this speed sensor will come right out, I'm thinking let's remove the entire knuckle. Either way, do our strut, do everything else. That way we don't have anything in our way. Usually taking speed sensors out of these old cars in our area, something to dream about. That's never gonna happen. So, if you live in my area, this never happens. I'm just gonna say. And maybe I spoke too soon. I think we definitely spoke too soon. Let's see. We negotiate with this sensor, Southern style. Wow, it actually doesn't even come out. It's usually how they get stuck for us. And they end up coming out in 17 pieces. Let me see. Let's switch angles, Jose, because I need to get access to it. Wow. That's a sight I've never seen, at least in a long time. It's just the grease from the bearing or grease that's O-ring. That never happens, folks. Here's what ends up happening if you live in our area. First, you take that bolt, come right out, and then nothing moves. And you end up breaking the sensor in half. The half stays in there, and you have to drill it out. And the rest of the sensor just breaks, and you have to replace it. Get the rest of the sensor out. This one is similar to an LS400. I feel like we're going to need to hang this somewhere better. Maybe. Let's see, does it reach over here? Yes. I'm going to strain our... No. That brake line is clear. Get this one out of the way. Alright, our knuckle is ready to come out. Let's lift the car, get the lower ball joint off, and then we'll get the upper and we're done. Or are you a 22? You're a 24. Here's a fancy puller. All right, I think we're separated. All we gotta do is just get that. Oh, I don't want to do that yet. Let's lower the car, get the upper ball joint, and we're good.
Upper ball joint. I think our fancy tool fits here. Oh yeah, it does.
Oh.
We're gonna negotiate, but try and keep things civilized here. Wow, this guy doesn't want to go. Negotiations underway. As you can see, we tried the nice way. Now we're going to try the not nice way.
See how that works?
I see a lot of folks dislike this method, but as you've seen, I put the correct tool and it does nothing. Sometimes you just got to take out the hammer. There's no way around it. That's out of the way.
Let's take a look at our ball joint here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but it has side-to-side movement. Not this side to side, but like it moves, the ball moves inside this way, not in and out. So let's replace this real quick. Yeah. I mean, the amount of rust here is unbelievable. Yeah, this has, yeah, that's not good. Let me find the new one. New ball joints. Very nice and shiny. Let's see. It comes with new nut and cotter pin. This goes hopefully like that. Yes, it does. So this part is done. Leave this here. Let's go see what we got over there. So we are not replacing this lower control arm. We are only replacing this one. We are replacing the shock. We are replacing this one. This one, not terrible. I think the bushing is the problem. That's what was the problem with these. I think these bushings had movement. But I do want to get the strut off. The strut is definitely, you see this bushing. It's, yeah, that's, yeah. You know, I only have one regret on this series. Not driving the car with you guys before. Because you look at this car, such a beautiful car, such in great shape. You go drive it, it's like, oh my God, this is very deceiving how it looks and how it drives. It drives horrible. Now that we got this off, I would like to remove the strut out of the way. So let's lower the car, get the strut out of the way, and we'll do the control arm, kind of walk backwards. There we go. All right, well, that's out of the way. Get to that in a second. Let's figure out what's going on here. There we go. We are replacing this and the bushing. That's not going to happen. Different kind of negotiations. So in order to get this up, I'm going to have to take this out. Which means we got to take this one out as well. That's a 17, so is this one. I mean, technically, I don't have to remove it all the way. This is separated. Ish. We gotta get that, so let's raise the car up. We'll undo the arm, install the new one, get the rest of it going. What do we got here? There's another. So when we did the rear, these eccentrics, if you're, again, from our area of the country, you're about to witness a moment that never happens. This nut usually comes out, but the eccentric itself never moves. This is the moment in history. Is the eccentric gonna move? This is the moment. This is the stuff that brings joy to my heart, folks. This never happens. I mean, you come in for alignment. This is where you adjust the alignment, by the way. You come in for alignment, this nut comes off, but the eccentric is seized inside the control arm. And then if the alignment is way off, or this arm is the bushing is done, you're cutting it here and cutting the entire bolt out with it, and it's just a giant mess. This car, it just comes out, which is, I have to admit, not something I'm used to seeing. Not something. Yeah, I pulled that bolt by hand. Look at it. Doesn't even have a drop. Usually, I'll pull this arm and we'll talk about it. If you live in the Midwest, this is going to be one of the things you'll be constantly fighting with. Once I get this out. There it is. Yeah, this is the bushing. You see all kinds of tears in it. There it is. That's what happens to these. See that opening? Every time you brake, this just goes to the other way. Now with my hand, I can move it and open that crack that it has right here. Imagine the force of the road and the weight of the car. So this is done. But what usually happens, so this is, by the way, Lexus, Toyota, if you're watching, you still do this. Don't know why you do this. This is exact. You see how little space there are? And for some reason, this sleeve, and I'm gonna verify that right now. No, actually it's not. Some of them are aluminum here, and this is steel. They just weld themselves together. And you try to turn this eccentric, it's actually seized this part to here because they're super tight. The reason they do this is because this is what locates the arm in its place. But I wish they would have gave us a little bit more room here so this wouldn't seize, or put maybe a little gasket here so to seal it up and salt and stuff won't go in there. They love to do this stuff. Superb. Every single car, when we did suspension on this car, everything came apart. We didn't fight a single bolt, nothing, which is unheard of on these cars this old in the Midwest. Some bolts we don't even try, just cut them off because they're not even gonna move. This one, everything comes off. It's a nice treat though, I gotta say that. Go find the new one. We'll kinda, like the manual says, installation is a reverse order of removal. Not exactly. Let's put this arm in. This arm does not wanna go in. Why don't you wanna go in? You know, just a second ago before we started rolling, I told Jose, oh, things are going so smoothly. No, they are. They are. Why is this not reaching? The sway bar is in my way. Oh, there we go. See, the sway bar is in my way. It'd be nice if I can get the other side off so we can swing it up. There we go. But the magical bolt never goes like that. I am still shocked at this. This is actually going like that. Just like that. Without the fight, without the hacksaw and cutting stuff. If you're from the South, you're probably wondering, this is such a big deal. It is. Because, again, this never happens like that. So here's something interesting if you're ever doing one of these arms. Toyota gives you a line, and in this particular one, that line is right here and here. It's gonna be a little bit hard. There is a big line that you line up. Do you see this longer line here? There's a line right there. You line it up with that. That's actually how they do it from the factory. If the car is new, that gets you extremely close on the alignment where you just need to make a small adjustment and we're done. That's what we're hoping we're gonna have to do. Find out. Since we are here, I feel like let's get the sway bar bushing replaced as well.
I think medium. Medium, let's put it this way. Not terrible, not great. New bushing. Either goes one way or another. And once you're in the middle. Yes. Whenever you replace the sway bar, always replace the nut that holds it. Now, I think we can lower the car, get the upper control arm, get this reattached and ready to go. Then we'll do our strut, and that pretty much wraps up this side. The brakes, forgot the brakes. Let's get the upper control arm, which is, I think it's supposed to do that. Yeah, these are spherical bushings. This one is good. It moves a little bit but doesn't clunk. Actually, it does as well. So they clunk, and they're not supposed to clunk. So yeah, this can move up and down. And then the ball joint, not terrible. I am replacing this because of this, because you can physically see movement. So these bushings, really difficult to diagnose. You'll see this in a lot of these older Lexuses. You'll find in the GS, notorious to make a very harsh clunking noise. Never, ever, please, buy these aftermarket. They'll always make noise. No matter what you do, they'll make noise. The brand new ones will make noise, worse than the old worn ones. So this is one I always get original. Here is that nice original one. These bushings are solid. They do move under pressure, but they are solid. And I'm looking at this. Oh yeah, they did have it. This is the original to the car. But it's good. The only thing I am noticing is, oh yeah, it does have it. I was like, this doesn't have the L stamped on it. They just have paint over it, but it is stamped. So they do give you new castle nut and pin with it. On this style, with the spherical bushings, when you tighten them, they will move up and down. So their location is not as important. You can, though, get them close to their original position. So that movement will center it once we get everything else going, which we're pretty much at that stage of getting everything else going. Lots of distractions at this shop. It's beautiful 80 series. I think it's lifted. We just had the son's car, the black one, beautiful one. This is the father's. Just got dropped off, inspected, do a few things to it. But a lot of distractions in this shop lately. Oh. And this one is locked. And I don't have my pliers. I'll be back. Fortunately, these broke. I haven't even honestly got a chance to find ones that fit. I mean, there's just a bolt with a wing nut at the end, but it's been so busy we're trying to get cars done that we don't have time for anything else. That's not good. There. All right, think we're good. Let's see what happens. Is this gonna be stubborn like an LS431, or is it gonna be simple? We're gonna find out. We are nowhere near. Yep, this is just like an LS430. Super easy to remove them in the front. Not super easy to compress the spring. We're barely getting there. There is a lot of force. The rear ones on this car were super easy to do. I think we're okay now. So I gotta watch the orientation. So here's, I'm gonna put a scratch mark here.
That's where the center is. And these bushings, yeah, they've seen better days. Let's get this off. There we go. Well, let's see if the strut was strutting. Yeah, it just stopped. No, it's still going. Yeah, I don't think this was doing much. That's usually how you tell, because you compress them. First, it's not gonna be this easy to compress them, and then they usually don't. It'll come out a little faster than that because they're supposed to absorb the shock, not let the spring just keep jumping up and down. This one, not doing that anymore. That's usually when a strut is worn because it's simply too old. Here's the mount, and it does come separate from the insulator. Get our new mount out. Whenever you do struts on a Toyota or Lexus, this is mandatory. Same as this. Even if it's in good shape, like this one, not completely deteriorated, but don't take chance. If this is what's going to protect your strut from the element, always put a new one. So these have like these indentations where this is going to go, the back of the stud. So kind of self-explanatory. Gonna line it up. Now look at my old mount. I think I'll move this a little bit more once we get the strut in, which the strut needs. This one, the bump stop, and the one at reach, and turn it. Yeah, we're gonna have to compress it more. It's very dangerous. Don't you love when you get yourself in this situation? I forgot to open this. Jose, can you cut and open this, please? Because this is... Okay, Jose rescued me, but I'm still in trouble here. I need to bolt it. It's only catching on by like half a thread. That's a lot better. Now I can let it go for a second. Okay, dangerous part is over. What we gotta do though is figure out because if you don't orientate this, you're gonna be fighting it in the car, and that wouldn't be good. So I put the scratch mark where the flat part is. So we're gonna put it here and match this one up to it, which now it doesn't want to move. Show you why we had to compress it more. See this rubber block here? It's flat and the spring hasn't indented in it yet. That's why this is actually higher. I think now we can, yeah, we can move it. So, make sure our spring is sitting here in its place. We put this right in front. Looks like we gotta rotate it this way. I like this. Just a little bit back. I like this. So the manual will tell you which direction they need to go and whatnot, but if you just put a paint mark, scratch mark, whatever, if you're replacing the mount, which you should always do, that should be more than enough for you to line it up. If you need to move it just a little bit, you can, because all you're going to do is twist the spring on this rubber, but you can't move it a lot. So double check, it's good. Yeah, this is a very heavy spring, extremely heavy spring. Because the rear one, I mean, a couple turns and it was already open. So this is basically the same as the LS430. Front struts, very easy to remove, kind of dangerous to compress. Rear strut, a little bit more involved to remove, very easy to compress. So I guess you can't win with these cars. There we go. That's all done. So the reason, if you ever see this, do you see how the rubber insulator doesn't actually cover the struts wide open? Reason because I'm holding it in my hand. The minute you put the weight of the car, the spring will compress, and this will actually cover that. Because when the car is on the ground, you can't see the top of the strut. So I'm gonna find my orientation here. Yeah, we are good. You see how we're like just a little bit off. But what you do in this case is, you're gonna stay? I hope so. If you get this and you wanna line it up, it can't be a lot though. It needs to be something minor like this. Put your screwdriver. You kinda, here it is. The top just moved and now it's lined up. Now, when I said it's lined up, it's never 100%. There we go. It's gonna be fun. Let me fight it out. We're almost there. Almost there. Here's what I'm gonna do. I think that's why we're fighting it. I'm gonna tighten the top up, and then we'll come back to this. Now I think we'll be able to get it to line up. There we go. There we go. Now I think the only thing we got left is the sway bar link. Well, that's all done. I think we are ready. Of course, we never tightened this from when we did the rack. But what we got next is the knuckle. Let's put it on. You have to get the new hardware for this. Most of these control arms, they always come with a new nut and new lock. I guess you can call this cotter pin. It's kind of a fancy cotter pin. Okay, this one is done. Let's get the bottom bolt joint. I forgot that this is not a cheap flimsy cotter pin. You can't bend these with your hand. Now, if you remember from the previous episodes, putting this nut on was extremely difficult because of the caliper in the way. But now we can install it final. Okay, well, turn this. All we got to do is put the brakes on. Speed sensor. Let's put the speed sensor on while we're at this stage. We can be done with this one. So all we got to do is the brakes. Last but not least is the magical part, which is still mystical to me. How this just goes in and now it doesn't want to go in. Let's see, maybe we gotta clean the board a little bit. Let's take a look. No, that went right in. Needed a little bit of force. It is flush. All right, well, that part is done. We're official here. Let's put our brakes on. We'll take it for a drive. I'm gonna clean this hub, although it's not actually bad at all. Just a little bit around here. You find my brush here, metal brush in this mess. Ooh, I got my toothbrush here. Don't worry about that. This one. These are horrible brushes. I actually bought them from Amazon. That's what you get for being cheap. The local supply company, they were like, it's $15 each one of these proper brushes. I'm like, you can buy like 30 of them on Amazon for $10.
happened? What are we doing here? Yeah, I know why now. Because look what happens when you put pressure in this. It just bends. And now you can't put a lot of pressure. They really, I mean, this one, we've used it very little and it's already wearing out. That's what you get for being cheap. So the other ones are on order. I think they might have actually been delivered today or tomorrow, hopefully. We don't need to go crazy on this because this is nothing. This car has no rust. Let's put our rotor on, making sure. Oh, that's very nice of them to do. Do you see how it has holes all around it for where these tiny little screws go? It doesn't matter how you install it, you'll always find them. That's pretty cool. It's really nice of them to do. I don't never do stuff like that anymore. Now the caliper. I'm gonna compress it first. So I'm wondering which direction do we use. Let's use this direction. You guys can see it as well. Just noticed something and I'll show you guys this. This is something we're gonna have to add to the long list of this car. You can actually see it before in our inspection. Is this tool gonna fit here? I'm feeling it won't. No, it won't. About this direction. That's it. We're gonna have to do this in a way that I really don't like. Just to go kind of sideways. Let me clean this area a little bit, although it's not rusty, it's just... I'm gonna put a little bit of grease here. Just to help it out. Put it right here where the pad's gonna slide. And then I'll show you what I just saw. It's gonna add one more tiny job to this job. Look at this brake line. You look at it initially, looks decent. But then when I turn it, what was the spot I saw? Was I seeing things here? There it is. See that dry rot? Right here? I don't like that. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get these hoses replaced because we don't want to do all this work and then 6 months from now this one of these hoses goes, and if they get caught in a bad situation, all this work would go for nothing or worse. So let's just get some hoses, especially since this is a rust-free car. It'll come right apart. We don't have any fights or issues with the lines. So now that we got these, let's go install them in the car. I am gonna need to figure out the direction thing. So this is the forward motion of the car. So this arrow needs to go in the direction that it's turning. And our tool did not compress this guy. I'm gonna need to see what we can do about that. How about this side? This side is good. Arrow should be facing up in the direction of travel. Now these, when you get to the end, they will be tight because of this kind of clip. But now I gotta figure out how we're gonna compress this without taking the whole thing apart. Let me first verify. Yeah, we're not compressed all the way. Okay, gonna have to use two of them. Press one and hold it, compress the other one. I'll take it all back apart again just for this. think I got it. Again, direction of travel up. For example, you don't want to put this like that. You want to put it like this. There we go. That resistance in any other car would be an issue, but in this particular case, we do have a clip that goes underneath here to hold the pad in place. Now, I clean these pins a little bit. Install this. Actually, you can install one pin all the way, and then the second pin, push this. Why are you not lined up? What's going on? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Clip was not sitting in all the way. There we go. And this set, the fitting kit, comes with a new pin, which is gonna go something. This doesn't feel right, and when I took it out, I didn't like how it felt. This doesn't feel right. Something is off here. Let me consult the manual, see what it says. So the way I had it installed the first time was actually the correct way. We have it in the manual over there open. I just don't like this. This can't be the right way. We missing something here? Or is this supposed to bend up and down like that? Let me look at the old one. Let's try the old one. No. That kind of doesn't... Oh, I see it. Okay, now this makes sense, because the picture in the manual does not show you that. This is what it is. We got this. There we go. It has a place that it goes. Okay, that makes more sense. All right. Well, this side is done. Which means, once this rotor stops turning on me, let's put the wheel on. Let's not celebrate too early. And now, the moment. Now, this moment is not the same as the LS430, 600,000 mile one moment, but this is the moment. Before we talk about the moment, here's what I got left. Off the camera, I'm going to replace the brake hoses. These may take a while. I hope they're still available. I would really like to put originals here. We're going to do the same thing we did on this side to the other side front. Exactly the same thing. And I'm going to align the car. We're going to, with all honesty, this is, I'm not shy to admit it. We're going to take it for a few test drives, make sure everything is good off camera. And then we're going to go on a drive. So once I put this cap on, it'll be a few seconds for you. It'll be potentially multiple days for us. Let's go take it for a drive. Let's take the LS400 for a drive. Folks, I just gotta say one thing. You know, when we ended that video, it must have been another month. Truth have to be said, because this car completely misbehaved a couple times on a couple little things. First thing, once we finished all the suspension, alignment. We had to align 4 times because we had a little eccentric that was jumping and it was not sitting right. We had to take it all apart again, figure out what's going on with it, figure that out, then it would kind of wander and weave, and then we discovered that it was not sitting right on the alignment rack. It was just a giant hurdle to align this car. There literally came a point where it's like, okay, we need a break from this. We have a lot of other projects going on. We left it for a week, then we got back to it. There was a lot. And then this door, of course, we had to fix the door lock, which now works. The clips here all broke. That took another week to arrive, but we got it. We got it. Everything works wonderfully. Let's drive it. I just gotta say one thing. They don't make cars like this anymore at all. So this, like the Century, the seats have like springs in them when it goes up and down. It's just heavenly. Unbelievable the level of overbuilt in this car. I love how this drives. Really happy with how this turned out. Drives just beautiful. Love it. Well, let's take it on a long drive and see how she does. I wanna give this engine one more push. This is the last little details that we gotta work on. Of course, I feel like sometimes we have a saying in the shop, let's give her a push, see how she does. This engine, there's something about this engine. See, the 1UZ, the original series, the first series, which is this one, it is so smooth that even when you accelerate hard, you like feel the car go back and forth, but you don't feel vibration. You feel nothing. That's the word. Even the later 1UZ or the 3UZ, you feel a little bit of vibrations here and there from the engine, but this 1UZ, you feel nothing. And the road we're on is not really in the greatest shape. There's a lot of ruts and all kinds of stuff, but that's the potential small noise that you hear. But this thing drives a lot better than how it was. The suspension was really bad, and all the bushings are falling apart, noise all over the place. It was kind of all over the place, and leaks and the smell and everything else. But now it's all quiet. Took a lot of work to get it to this point, but we got it. I am super happy with this car. There is always a few odds and ends that we still got to take care of here and there, but for the most part, this project is done, folks. I think the owner of this car will be very pleased with it, very happy. And the videos that we made on this car, I hope it helps somebody out there that is doing similar work to their LS400, and then the owner, they can follow through and see exactly what happened to the car and how we arrived at this point. But that's it. I'm super excited. This thing drives. Now this car drives as good as it looks, because it is just a beautiful car looks wise. And this project is done. We have something we say in the shop. Sometimes we work on a car, we have a project, we have a plan, we're going through the plan, everything is going smoothly for the most part, but then the car decides it likes it here, doesn't want to leave. This is one of those cars. I mean, there was so many stuff we had to do behind the scenes just to get things dialed in, little odds and ends, that it almost feels like it never ends. And as I am filming this, there's a couple little things we discovered in the test drive we got to take care of real quick. But this is how it is with older projects, folks. There's come a point where you put a stop, you tell the customer, we got everything you initially planned for us to do. There's a few other things left. Do you want us to care for them or not? If they're simple stuff, we usually just take care of them. They're not worth it. But if there's anything that requires big work, we let them know. Because in the end, it is an almost 30-year-old car. You believe it, next year this car turns 30, but it definitely does not drive like any 30-year-old car you're gonna find out there. I am super happy with how this turned out. It's a beautiful car from the day we saw it, and now I hope we added a small part to make it even better and last a long time for the owner that's going to enjoy it for years to come. Folks, join me in congratulating the owner of this car on his commitment to this car, because he really wanted to keep it, and I think he did the right thing, because the car is rust-free, so clean on the outside and the inside. It's definitely worth keeping on the road and keep it going. Did take a lot of work, but we got it. It's ready. And folks, thank you so much for watching this series. And until the next series or next video, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have yourself a wonderful day.